The city of Tulsa about 20 years ago entered into a contract with Navistar. The city of Tulsa has a industrial facility out at the airport. It's about 1 million square feet. And the city at that time decided to lease it to Navistar for $1, not $1 a year, just $1. And that seems pretty extraordinary when you're talking about 1 million square foot facility for $1. But the ask or the requirement of Navistar as part of that lease is that they would hit benchmarks as it relates to employment, which they've done, and also that they would properly maintain that facility moving forward, which they have not done. Their contract with the city was up for renewal. And as part of that renewal process, we had an independent engineering firm go into the building to assess the maintenance needs there. And what they found was millions of dollars in deferred maintenance in that building. And contrary to the way it's been spun in the last 24 hours, we're not talking about beautification here. We're talking about electrical systems on which that building relies. We're talking about roofing, which prevents or really protects the integrity of the entire facility. We're talking about the structural integrity of that building and millions of dollars in maintenance needs there. So we brought this report and these needs to Navistar's leadership and said, hey, here's what our independent expert says, but we don't want you to just take our word for it. Send your own person in and look and see what they think. And Navistar's independent engineer went through and found largely the same things that the independent engineer that we had sent in found. Same kinds of maintenance concerns. And so my office began discussions with Navistar about how we move forward and recognizing not just the need to catch up with the maintenance that had not been done under the terms of the contract, but we want Navistar to be here for decades. We love having the workforce here, the jobs here. We're proud to have those buses that go all around the world made here in Tulsa. But we recognize that we can't keep them here for the long haul if the building gets run into the ground. It has to be safe for them to occupy. I also think it's very important to point out that every dollar that is paid for either maintenance or proposed to pay under a lease payment goes back into that facility. It's not going to the city of Tulsa to give people raises or anything like that. It goes into a building fund specifically for that building to maintain it for the long term. And so we started discussions with Navistar, and I think there's been a lot of confusion in the last day, and I hope it's not intentional. There's been people saying that I and my office have tried to evict Navistar. I sat at a table with Navistar's senior leadership not a foot away from me and told them that we want them here for the long term. We want them to be successful in Tulsa. We just want our building to be maintained properly as well so that it can best serve them and their employees and keep them safe. And so we had that conversation. They seemed amenable to that, and we agreed that we should develop a plan moving forward. Now, as part of that, if you have a lease with someone for 20 years, and the main financial requirement of that lease is that they maintain a facility, and then they don't, should the city of Tulsa just extend it another 5 years and say, oh, gee, okay, we'll just continue to do that? That wouldn't be financially prudent. It wouldn't be good stewardship of that facility. Also wouldn't be fair to Navistar. And so what we said was, rather than continue a lease which appears problematic on your end, let's renegotiate a lease where we can have specific maintenance benchmarks moving forward. And that's the discussion, the negotiation that we've been in for several months. In fact, we're scheduled to meet tomorrow on that. Everything to date, from my vantage point as the mayor, has been very positive because we have, I think, a win-win here. We want those jobs here in Tulsa. We want Navistar to be successful in Tulsa, but we also want a building that is safe for the long term for them to be successful in. And so that's the discussion and negotiations that have occurred to date. For whatever reason, and for the life of me, I don't understand why, but they chose yesterday, using a PR firm out of Chicago, to launch some sort of public relations campaign locally that is just grossly misinforming their employees about these negotiations and telling their employees that I'm trying to evict them. That is not true. And why they would say that to their employees and frighten their employees and their employees' families in the midst of this current economic crisis, for the life of me, I can't understand why they would do that. Other than it's a hardball negotiation tactic. It's also very cynical. So we will keep working with them in good faith because we want them here. We want those jobs here. We want those buses built here. And we believe that it's in their best interest and our best interest to have that facility properly maintained moving forward. That's all we're asking. Not looking to, go back historically and second guess a lease that gave them 1 million square feet for $1. We just want them to properly maintain the building that they got that lease on.